Hello. I will start by showing you my folder tree. It is not very important, but it will show you my working environment. So here I am in a project named Assembler, and I am in the shot named ACE000. There are my folders. So it is where I have my texture render, my 3D part, etc. So you will find your way better during my explanation. At least I hope so. You also have a directory containing the WIP version of my software. Here, scriptnodon. It's a temporary name. The executable is accompanied by 3 folders that can obviously be saved wherever you want in the future. The first one, nodes, contain the scene of scriptnodon with all my nodes and scripts and stuffs. Generated will contain all used and generated scripts by scriptnodon, and DB for database contains the preset of your scene. For example, the Python interpreter. Now let's move on the software itself. The first window that will open will be settings windows. You can see just above the possibility to load or save your scene like that. But let's go back to the settings tab. This is where you will indicate your Python interpreter, depending on whether you are on Windows or Linux. What you will have to enter will change, as you can imagine. But just as if you have a registered interpreter in your variables, you will be able to call them by their simple name, like I do with Python, with the simple Python. If this is not the case, you will have to enter the full path, as I did here with Heaton and Nuke. So you can modify it or delete it. That's about it for this tab. Even if it is already very powerful, you can virtually add the interpreter of any software. So it's cool. And now let's move on the scene tab. It is composed of 3 parts. At the top, the global variable part. You indicate the main variable of your shots or of your scene. In this software, a variable is necessarily a string, and more precisely, an array of strings. This is why you have the choice between the symbol equal here and plus equal. You can add string to your array. So here you can see that I have a variable dir for directory with the full path of leading to my shot, the name of my shot in lowercase, the start, the stop, and the version of my shot. But because it could be a very precise shot, I could have a variable for my model, for example, for my geo. So maybe a variable named model, and maybe there is a castle in it. USD, because we are in the future. And my castle is somewhere, and it is somewhere in my directory, in my shot directory. So let's call it with %dir percentage that will include a variable above in my actual variable. So here I am in my directory. I go in the 3D folder and in the ref folder, and that's it. As I showed you here, 3D reference there. Maybe I have more than that. Maybe I have a land. So, oh, sorry. Maybe I have a land. So if I do that and plus equal, I will add the land around my castle. And maybe I have also, I don't know, a horse riding on my land. So it is an animation, so I have a directory dedicated to that. So maybe it's horse. And maybe on that horse there is a rider. And of course, equal, plus equal. So there you have an example of the power of this software. You can add string and model, and after in a script you will be able to iterate on this array of strings. You can of course delete the string, and later you will be able even to just disable it. So after that, yeah, I repeat, this is a whip, so there's a lot of stuff not very fancy, like the look of my nodes. I can begin by the beginning. At the beginning, you have just a start node, and the start node is an empty node. It just containing the global variables. You have three basic nodes in this software. You have the yellow circle. Yellow circle are null. You can't do anything in it, and well, it's yes, start contains the global variable, but this is the only exception. And you can have you have the null. If you click on tab, you can add null. You can name it, for example, temporary. There. They do not contain anything and are used to organize you and your node tree. You can call nodes other nodes by pressing tab and, for example, a sim node. You can, of course, connect them. And the detailed window will inform you on multiple information, like the order of execution. I will go back to this later. And of course, and I repeat, this is a web version, so all the desired details do not appear yet, but there's still a lot of information. All nodes other than null can contain variables, and yes. And most importantly, any child node inherits the variables of the parent node, and basically any node inherits the global variables. So sim node inherits global variables, and if sim has a child, the child will inherit sim and vsize variables. So you can see that this is a white circle node, so it is a script node, it is an action node, and you have also the loop node, and it is symbolized by a white square node. a white square node, and you can see here in the details that there is an order. First, my an order of connection. First, my sim will execute, and after that, the loop will execute. If a loop had already been setted, you will find some nodes in it, but by double click on it, you can go inside. So basically, if you just created a loop, there is nothing in it, but you can add maybe a render script and maybe another one and a compo script. Each node exists by itself and can be added to a loop, except, of course, another loop. It's not implemented yet, but of course you can do a loop directly in your script, so it's not a very big deal. And of course you can see all the variables here, and you can see that each node, even if it is inside the loop, can inherit the global variables. And because you are inside the loop, you can also take a look on the not just the variable contained by the loop, but also the iteration variable, and I will go back to this later. We choose this strategy to be able to put nodes inside a loop to allow you to chain a loop with an action script, and thus wait for the loop to finish to launch the rest. For example, a JPEG to move, because if I have render my EXR, if I have render also my my composition, I have with my two outputs, my JPEG output and my EXR output. The JPEG output, just to take a quick look, I have to I want to optimize it more and more. So a part of my optimization is to make a script node with which will just call ffmpeg and convert the right JPEG sequence in the right movie .movie. So that's it. And of course, important fact: the nodes can be activated and deactivated. And if you deactivated a node, the child or the children will be deactivated too, and that's why you have to use null, because you can deactivate a full branch of nodes or reactivate a full branch of nodes, and the null will help you to organize between all those actions. But for now, I just shown you I just have shown you created nodes. So how can we create a node? If you press F, you open a new window that allows you to create scripts, nodes, or loop. You choose your here we can see you choose your interpreter, you create your variables, you write your script. You can access the node variables or inherited variables at any time by typing params dot and the name of your variables. And because all my variables on this software are strings, I have to convert start and stop in integer, because Houdini don't like string inside some nodes that want some integer. For example, a render node that will attend integer for the first frame and the last frame. But you can import anything, you can do anything, and you can see that I'm very talkative. I do a lot of printing because I want the graphic design, the infographist, to be able to see the progress of the script action, to better understand where they are and debug and debug if there is a problem. So it's pretty much it. And of course, it is an overture, it is an opening on the future, because if we project us with this software in the near future, after some projects, we can guess that we'll have a few functions that could be generalized and that we could import to simplify our script node and simplify the life of any script beginner artist, and even TDs, because they will just have to import the proper module already done in the previous project, and I don't know, do some render settings automatically, do some AOVs automatically, whatever you want automatically, because you will have a module for it and you will be able to import it as simply as that. So there is this is a sim node, this is a karma node. You can see that I am calling my global variable. You can see that I am settings all my various attributes for Houdini, the same for Nuke, and I'm basically just executing some data like the right EXR node, the right JPEG node. In my JPEG to move, I have just a subprocess with FFmpeg, and so on and so on, even test node, and the loop. The loop, there is no interpreter choice in it, but you can of course choose variables like sample, because if I am building some specific AOV, some AOV will need more samples than others, and it can be useful to optimize your render time. So it's called to so if a node can inherit a variable, it can also overwrite a variable. So my loop has a basic samples information, and the nodes inside of it can have variable samples with something with another value, like 9, like 16, like whatever you want, if you're crazy enough. The interesting part of it is iteration part. You can choose, of course, iteration trigger, like F for frame, I for image. You can choose the name of the start, the name of the end. You can see that I'm just pointing on the start and the stop of my global variable. You can choose the step, and of course you can change the iterator to a list, because if I want, for example, iterate on my shot name, I can do it as simply as that. And so in that example, I could be able to put a script in that loop that will open a template scene like that, and modify it and duplicate it and save it with other subfolders, and save it with the rest of my folders of my folder tree for other shots in my project. You can see it is pretty easily parsable, so it's not really a big deal to make a script that will allow you to duplicate and generalize a template to a whole project. So it's simple and it's powerful. Emblem, yeah, of course. There you go. This was this was my example and it was my presentation. So now you can basically just you can just press to the play button, the execute button, and terminal will pop up and will inform you what it is doing. It is calling the sim.py .python script, and you can see I'm very talkative. I do a lot of print, a lot of color, because I don't know, infographics like colors, and it's fancy, and it helps you to understand where you are. You can see that I am running a sim. I am caching the colliders. I am converting. I am launching the sim. After that, I will convert it into VDB, and after that, I will do render, and after that, I will do compositing, and after that, I will do a conversion of the JPEG to a move. And let's see already the results. If I show you there. This is the result of these three. So thank you for watching this. I hope you understood everything I said, and of course, if you have a question, I will answer the better I can in the next session. Thank you for watching.